Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
A hard-fought campaign finally comes to an end.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a new majority to take America in a different direction.
The people of this state are going to have the last word, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of the nation.
We're with the Senate candidates on this election night.
Both candidates for Lexington mayor told us they're feeling confident as they wait for the results to come in.
And some frightening moments for a student on the Berea College campus. WKYT News at 6 starts now. Good evening. Glad you're watching tonight. Right now, polls are closing across much of Kentucky, and the wait begins for those first results. And tonight, we'll be keeping a very close eye on many races around the Bluegrass.
And that includes one receiving some national attention, the U.S. Senate race between incumbent Senator Mitch McConnell and challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes. We have crews with the McConnell campaign in Louisville and the Grimes campaign here in Lexington. We begin our campaign 2014 team coverage tonight with WKYT's Phil Pendleton. He has the latest from the McConnell campaign in Louisville. Good evening, Phil.
Well, to say that there is a lot of interest in this race and its outcome would be a major understatement. I'm standing in a ballroom at a Louisville hotel that is reserved for the news media and for supporters, but the media is taking up most of the room. Now, outside, I counted 18 satellite trucks set up. The riser for the cameras is 3 levels high, likely 100 cameras here set up to record what Republicans hope will be a victory speech in a couple of hours. Now, earlier today, I was at the precinct here in Louisville where McConnell and his wife, Elaine Chao, voted. He was followed by dozens of cameras there. But McConnell didn't have much to say, though, as he was leaving.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a new majority to take America in a different direction.
Okay, thanks, guys. How confident are you that you're going to get that majority, Senator?
And again, McConnell was quickly shuffled away by his Secret Service detail, and then he was gone. And of course, we're waiting here tonight to find out what happens. Hopefully those election results will start coming in very soon, and we'll bring them to you as we find them out. In Louisville, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. As for Allison Lundergan Grimes, she is hoping to pull off an upset tonight, and she thinks Kentucky voters will surprise the nation. WKYT's Sean Moody continues our live team coverage. He's with the Grimes campaign at the Carrick House here in Lexington. Hello, Sean.
Hey there. Well, most of the polls across Kentucky are closing right now, but Grimes' campaign manager says there are still volunteers going door to door in western Kentucky where there's still an hour left. People are gathering here on the front lawn of the Carrick House expecting a party. Allison Lundergan Grimes is the underdog in this race, 5 points down in the latest poll, but she said she's expecting a victory this evening. Grimes started her day in downtown Lexington, voting around 7:30 this morning. She went to Mass with her family and met with the Board of Elections for her work as Secretary of State this afternoon. And this has been one of the closest watched races across the country. The most recent WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll shows her trailing McConnell by 5 points. Grimes said this morning that turnout had been higher than predicted, and she's hoping that translates into a victory for her. McConnell's tried to link Grimes to Obama, an unpopular president here in Kentucky. Her campaign manager, though, says that they've made this race not about Obama, but about McConnell.
People say, well, it's a referendum on the president. We made sure this is a referendum on all of Washington, that we were able to turn out votes that made this a referendum on Washington and the 30 years of dysfunction of Senator McConnell.
Now again, most of the polls across the state are closing right now. There's still an hour left in western Kentucky. We haven't seen any of the early results yet, but we hope to start seeing those soon. We'll pass those along to you as soon as we get them. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. The path to tonight began more than a year ago. McConnell and Lundergan Grimes began trading barbs even before the primary election officially pitted the two against each other.
Political editor Bill Bryant joins us now live from the WKYT Election Center with a more in-depth look at what's at stake tonight. And Bill, good evening.
We'll be passing those votes along to you just as soon as we get them here in our vote election center. Now, here's what's at stake in tonight's U.S. Senate race. First elected in 1984, Mitch McConnell is seeking his 6th term in office. He is already the record holder for Kentucky's longest-serving U.S. senator ever. If Republicans take back control of the Senate tonight, McConnell is in line to become the U.S. Majority Leader. If Allison Lundergan Grimes is elected tonight, she would be the state's first female U.S. Senator. Neither candidate has ever lost an election. As mentioned before, Kentucky's U.S. Senate race could have a big impact on the national scene. The balance of power up for grabs tonight in the Senate. There are 36 U.S. Senate races. Republicans need to pick up 6 seats to take control of the Senate. All 435 House seats are being decided. Republicans expected to keep control of the House. This is the most expensive midterm election in history. Candidates have spent nearly $4 billion. Around $80 million was spent on the U.S. Senate race here in Kentucky. Give or take, we're going to be seeing those totals in the days to come. Voting has ended in the eastern time zones. Polls are still open in most of western Kentucky. It could be a long night. The lines were long today. In fact, a report just a couple of minutes ago of a 45-minute line at the North Point precinct in Fayette County. It gives you an idea. People are still in line, and anyone who was in line at 6 o'clock will be allowed to vote. We'll have the results when they come in. Live in the Election Center, Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Bill, thank you. We look forward to it tonight. Now to the race for Lexington mayor. Incumbent Mayor Jim Gray seeks a 2nd term. He is running against former Lexington Police Chief Anthony Beatty. WKYT's Miranda Combs is live now with the Gray campaign at Bell's Cocktail House on Market Street. Good evening, Miranda.
Good evening, Sam. Mayor Gray will be finding out shortly if citizens want him around for another 4 years. Supporters have filled up the downstairs here and are now filling up the upstairs, hoping to hear a victory speech soon. Now, Gray has outraised his opponent, Anthony Beatty, 4-1, according to the October campaign finance report, a good sign for Gray supporters here tonight. It's been a while since a Lexington mayor has won a 2nd term, more than a decade, actually, but Gray has been saying all throughout this campaign that there is more to be done for the city of Lexington. We'll find out soon if he will get that chance. He talked to us from Harrison Elementary this morning where he cast his ballot.
That means getting up every morning and thinking, how are we going to improve today what we did yesterday? And that's, I believe in continuous improvement, and in the next 4 years, we're going to try to do better in the next 4 years what we've already done in these 4 years.
Now the wait for results is on. We're told Gray is now waiting with family for those results to come in. And as soon as he's ready, he will make his way over here. And we'll, of course, be here when he gets here. For now, we're live in Lexington. Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Miranda, thank you. Anthony Beatty said if elected mayor tonight, he would do more to fight crime. And he also promised to focus more on the city's neighborhoods. WKYT's Jerica Insko is with the Beatty campaign at the Beaumont Center Clubhouse in Lexington.
People are still arriving here at Beaumont Center Clubhouse as a part of Anthony Beatty's campaign. And all of these people know that the votes are now in and the polls are closed here in Lexington. So tensions are high, but it's still a party atmosphere. Now, Beatty started his day by voting this morning along with his wife as a former Lexington police chief. Beatty says he has a greater understanding of what works and what doesn't work when it comes to public safety. And that's the thing he has been campaigning to improve all along, saying the crime we've been seeing lately in Lexington is troubling. Now, Beatty says if voted mayor, he plans to continue bettering relationships with the people of Lexington. Knowing how important campaigning is, Beatty and several volunteers campaigned late last night and today until the polls close. Now, Beatty tells me it was humbling to see his name on the ballot today.
Historic moment, certainly, for our community, to have a kid from the inner city of Lexington to be able to grow up in the city and see the changes that were made to become police chief, and then have the opportunity to even be considered for the office of mayor is pretty exciting.
Now, Beatty also took some time out today and got a haircut, something he tells me relaxes him after a long year of campaigning. And Anthony Beatty arrived here at the Beaumont Center Clubhouse just after 4 o'clock, and he tells me that this is the day he has been waiting for, and he tells me that he is glad that Election Day has finally arrived. Now he's ready to see what those votes come out to say and if he wins or if Mayor Jim Gray will be the mayor once again. Reporting live in Lexington, Jerica Insco, WKYT.
Jerica, thank you. It should be an exciting night. We hope you'll stay with WKYT throughout the evening for complete election coverage. We'll have the first returns as they come in, and then join us on the CW Lexington for our election night special. That is from 6:30 to 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have live reports, some analysis, and speeches as they happen. You'll also find election results and headlines on WKYT.com.
We enjoyed some great weather on this election day. We saw some sunshine out there, some mild temperatures, but now we are tracking some rain that is heading our way. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look now at that forecast.
Yeah, rain getting closer and closer to central Kentucky as we speak, and right on cue, those clouds started to thicken up this afternoon with the gusty winds. Rain's not too far behind. Then we unleash some cold weather as we go toward the second half of the week. Live First Alert Defender as of now showing some of the drops getting as close by as Louisville. A couple of sprinkles, light showers out ahead of that. Still, the main line is roughly 100 miles away to our west, and the heavier rains are out across western Kentucky, southern parts of Illinois and Missouri. That whole mess is working its way toward the east and the northeast. That's ahead of a strong cold front that is on top of western Kentucky. Now we have the mild weather out ahead of it. Colder winds are blowing just behind that front that does have a little wave of low pressure that'll make its way right on top of the area. Late this afternoon, those temperatures started to drop as the clouds moved on into town. Currently 60 degrees here in Lexington. Winds are cranking, though not as strong as what we were seeing a little bit ago. Focus of the forecast, though, when I come back, not just on the rain moving in, but guys, I'm tracking 4 cold fronts over the next week with a lot of cold air that is on the way to Kentucky.
Chris, thank you. We have an alert tonight for the Berea College campus. Police are looking for a man they say pulled a knife on a student as she walked on campus.
That student was not hurt, but Berea College Public Safety sent out an email to all the students and staff alerting them to what happened. WKYT Sam Smith is tracking that investigation tonight.
A female Berea College student walking back to her dorm Sunday night all of a sudden had a knife pointing at her. An unknown man forced her across the parking lot behind the Elizabeth Rogers Residence Hall and behind a dumpster. The suspect is described as a white male that spoke with a gruff voice. He was wearing black shoes, a black sweatshirt, and a ski mask. The student was not harmed. The suspect ran away on his own.
I hadn't really realized that people had been getting attacked or violated. We didn't have very many instances of it happening, and so I didn't actually think that it was something that happened much or at all on campus.
Ms. Lamera still says she sometimes has to walk on campus at night, and she's making a change to those walks after the Sunday night attack.
I definitely will be carrying my pocket knife on me at all times because I am slightly more worried now.
Berea police are making changes too. They'll step up patrols on campus.
What makes it serious was the fact that he used the force that he used and showed her a weapon. You know, we're just glad that nobody was harmed in this incident.
Anyone that saw anything Sunday night is asked to contact police. In Berea, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Berea College Public Safety will send any updates on this investigation directly to the students.